Hey, so they dropped another one. The Warning. Choke. Their first song that they released from the new album before the album was out, before the EP was out. Choke was the initial demonstration of this is us. This is us with our new producer, our new label. You know, this is huge that this song had such an impact and was such a vocal workhorse for Dani to demonstrate the incredible achievements that she reached as a vocalist through her practice time that she ended up with a lot of through the pandemic, and the whole group, you know, how they improved and worked and practiced and prepared and never gave up during the pandemic. So they came out as a even more intense rock group. Choke. This is it. Live 2022, August. The Metropolitan Theater in Mexico City, Teatro Metropolitan, CDMX. We're going to react together because I haven't seen this yet. I just saw like 2 seconds to make sure it works. Here we go.
I won't say goodbye in the end. It won't.
They're wearing white. So this is when they changed. Very, very cool. I love the look of the background and everything.
Won't matter at all, I'm sure.
Sweet.
Weigh your tears like jewelry. That voice is overpriced by artists that is I.
Sorry, I know I'm stopping. I'll go back, okay? That was such a freaking cool start to the song. The lighting, the stage work, the light works, the sound. This is incredible. I got to rewind this again. I'm going to start from the beginning without stopping it up to that point at least. That was incredible. So awesome.
I won't say goodbye in the end. It won't matter at all, I'm sure. Weigh your tears like jewelry. That voice is overpriced by artists that is directly. Don't cry, just let me let me dive in, sinking deeper, push my head, choke me till I drown.
Gotta stop it again. Oh my God. I am just so blown away with the vocal performance from Dani. I mean, it's not that it isn't always amazing, but this is next level amazing. And I've said that so many times now about The Warning, but that's because I keep seeing new stuff from them that is more next level than previously. First of all, I wanted to comment about the intro, the quiet intro. From what I could see from the sides of Dani, which they'd shown it from the front, but they just showed so much of it. First of all, she looks incredibly happy to be singing it and having that response from the crowd singing along with her. Second of all, I love how she looked up, won't matter at all, right? That part, that was so cool. That was just so cool, like looking up to the heavens kind of thing, right? So cool. And then letting everyone sing it and the huge smile on her face. just rocking awesome. This is so good. And then when they came in, the sound quality is great. Ale, again, she looks so happy and having so much fun. She's singing along too. And of course, Pao is having a great time. She's singing the lower octave harmony just flawlessly again. Every time I see a version of this, a new version of this, like a live version, I think this is even better than the last one I saw. And I'm not exaggerating.
Let me dive in, sinking deeper, push my head, drop me till I drown. I'll be drowned.
Wow.
Drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs. It's cold, but this is where I'll stay.
Sorry, gotta stop it again. As a bassist, I mean, I play all the instruments, but I'm a very serious bassist. The tone and the intensity and the bass tone here that Alejandra's getting in this cool, groovy, like dum 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 da da dum 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 dum. That part is so good. It's sounding like there's an almost fretless quality to it, which is just a beautiful attack and blossom to each note that you get with an excellent fretted bass that's really well set up. It doesn't have super low action and is exceptionally well played. And that's what she's got there. She's got like the perfect setup for the tone that she wants to get. It's obviously not super low action. She makes it look easy. She plays very relaxed when she plays, but that's because she's, as I've mentioned many times before, an extremely highly trained bassist, an extremely experienced bassist. Excellent teacher that she had, and still has, I guess, technically, if she continues to study with him. I know she still at least works with him and communicates with him, as we've seen in this very concert. But the attack and the tone that she's getting sounds so round without any excess noise. And she's been mastering that for this whole last year or so. That's all the sound I get is just clear perfection from the bass. And that was really cool. Let's just go back a spec to hear that.
Slipping down my throat,
Let's go back a little more.
drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs. It's cold, but this is where I'll stay. Comfortably pain, weigh your tears like jewelry. That voice is overpriced, but art is at its high. Let me don't cry. Does I Let me dive in, sinking deeper.
Sorry, I'm stopping it again. Watching Dani project, she's doing so many things to try to open her voice up and relax and keep her. I've been watching the fantastic channel Charismatic Voice a lot over the last couple of years. The vocal folds, wacka wacka wacka, keeping them relaxed. That's what she says, because they go like that when that's how you generate sound with your voice. She's doing everything she can to keep that whole system. It's to control the internal voice. There's a lot of tension we can do, a lot of pressure and stuff. And if we're not trained singers or experienced natural singers, then we tend to do that. But when we're just speaking normally, we tend to be quite relaxed. You can hear my voice change, but if I tense up, then it gets tenser, and it sounds cool in a way. It almost sounds like a rock guy, but it's not the way you want to do it. You want to have a relaxed sound and project it, and then add any distortion or anything like that using various tricks inside the shape of your mouth and other things, which I'm still learning myself as a singer myself. Even though I sing rock, I do tend to tense up when I sing rock because it just gets the sound I want, but it's not something that will last for me. So I have to be careful. I'm trying to learn the best ways to do it. She has just a little bit of grit in her voice, just right, while having a very relaxed full sound. And when she comes down at the end of the phrase, ah, da, da, that part when she comes down at the end of it and she doesn't have to go up again, it's so huge and so full. It sounds like a classical mezzo soprano, but in a rock group, and it's just so awesome. I love the sound here. I love that 3-part harmony. Pow on the bottom. Danny's got the middle note, the main melody note, and the loudest singer, of course. And then way up high in falsetto is Alejandra. Alejandra often sings very, very low parts, quietly, just supporting the lead vocal. But in this one and some other songs, she sings briefly very high. I can't sing a high enough part. It's above that, a third above that. And it sounds so good up there. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that because it's hurting my voice and it's really hurting your guys' ears. But up an octave, falsetto. My voice doesn't do that. I don't have a very high-pitched voice. But when she does that, it sounds so good.
I come and see every day I'm on hold, breathing, breathe out. I keep on waiting to hang up my will. I wish I would just let me drown.
Cheers, hearing it for Alejandra. Such a great sound, such a different sound from her sisters. And yeah, she's not got a super rocky voice, but she's got a super awesome voice. And I just love the sound of that. That was so good.
Let me drown. Let me drown.
So I just wanted to point out, it was cool because they've got scenes from the model who did the underwater stuff on the screens behind them, and it was so cool and eerie to see him see her appear in the screen behind Ale. That's so cool. Stopping it again, just pointing out also, this is the best mix of the drums that I've heard. Even, absolutely no offense to Mr. Mendes' studio work, which was fantastic. I mean, one of the most legendary producers and engineers in rock history of this style. But the drums in this section, every note, every attack of the toms as she works through from the snare through all the toms, is so perfectly blended, and you can hear the pitch, but it's still lots of attack, and they're perfectly leveled. And you can tell as an engineer that they're not doing that through cheating by like, oh, let's just put the toms through a compressor, even multi-band compressor, and make sure that they come out even. I'm sure there is that, because that's how you glue things together, but there is just solid, good, independent miking and mixing, and also incredibly solid, perfect playing on the drums. Like, the execution is so good by Pau. Her level control has always been good, but her level control here is like a textbook on how you should play. It's so excellent. They're all playing perfectly. And also, I should mention the guitar playing has been incredible in this. Flawless. Absolutely flawless. I love when she plays lead parts while she's singing. I don't know how they actually does that. This is just so incredible. So incredible. I don't know where to put this to show the best scene. That's a good one. Wow. That is so cool. That was so cool. Thank you. Thank you for watching that with me. I am just incredibly excited that they released this one publicly. I didn't think they were going to. I thought it was going to be just an internal one for now. They did release another internal one, which I haven't watched yet, but I can't react to it because it's only for us Patreons. So if you want to see some of the other songs that they've released, there's just as many as they have public. They also have released that many additional ones to those of us who are Patreon members. Become a Patreon for The Warning. Support them. And you will have, at a certain level, it's not terribly expensive, much less than a concert ticket, you'll have access to twice as many of these songs. And if you pay some of the bigger bucks, the price of an actual concert ticket, you can have the whole concert already while the rest of us are all sitting around waiting. It's worth it if you can do it. And you're supporting the most incredible rock band of Gen Z. Wow, this was so good. The performance is flawless, like so good. I can't believe it. These guys are doing this live to such a high standard now. When you're live, one thing I wanted to point out with The Warning in this concert, and I've seen this with all of their concerts, but I'm really, really noticing it with this one. You know, it's not just this concert. All the ones. Their original Lunario, live at Lunario, for ODD. Their big semi-pro shot, like, they weren't pro shot to this level, right? But they were still properly done as opposed to cell phone recordings, right? They had mix off the board and some cameras on the stage, and Rudy, their manager, running around, and their dad running around with cameras trying to film stuff, right? I'm sure that's what it was. But now with this pro shot one, it's the same thing. The way these women have chosen to hold themselves in complete brutal honesty about how they perform is so admirable. I don't think I would have that sort of self-esteem to be able to do this. I don't have that sort of self-confidence to be able to do what they are doing right now. Let me put it this way. I am a professional musician. I've been to university and colleges. I have degrees. I've focused on this. I'm highly trained. I'm not boasting. I'm just pointing out that the level that I've done this at, first of all, I'm nowhere near as good at doing what they do as they do it. Okay? I can't play and sing at the same level. I can sing well. I can play extremely well, but I can't play and sing at the same time to the level that any of these three women do this. So they are superior at what they do than I can do. They're also far superior songwriters than I am. And they're younger at doing what they're doing than I am. And it just boggles the mind how good they are. They're also more consistent than I am. So I am extremely impressed by them. I'm humbled by what they do. Second of all, if I were to, and I have released live recordings of myself as a classical violinist, as a rock guitarist, as a rock bassist. In the studio, I've done stuff, but I mean, I'm talking about the live ones. And I've gone in afterwards, and it's like, you know what? I completely blew it. On this one phrase, I played that wrong. Or, man, I messed up on this part, and it's going to be there forever if I release it like this. So I've gone in, if possible, if there was a multi-track, I've gone in and I've fixed 2 notes. I completely admit it, but then I am on the same boat as probably 98, 99% of live albums that are out there. Okay? It's the standard thing to do. And an experienced musician watching what these women do can tell that they are not doing that. I'm certain that they picked the best performance. If there were two performances, I guess there were two performances. I'm sure they picked the best one each time, because that's just obviously what you do. But they are not fixing things other than there was one song where there was a patch cord issue. They muted that channel for the sound so that it wouldn't come through. Stuff like that, which I've heard on Patreon level. But if there's tuning, if there's a bad entry, if there's a wrong note, they leave it in there. They don't fix it. I've heard them. But they're so few and far between and so unimportant. And it makes it so real that you are hearing and seeing a real live concert exactly as it should be. Not fixed. It's not an album. It's a live concert, warts and all. But those warts are tiny little, they're a little tiny freckle on a flawless performance. That's all they are. And I have so much admiration for The Warning, for their honesty about that. They clearly have never used pitch correction, pitch control, auto pitch control, or even manual pitch control in any of their live stuff. It's real, and it's the way it should be. It's the way music used to be, and it's why music used to sound so believable and raw and cool. But it also meant that people had to hold themselves to a higher standard of performance quality and practicing and preparation, and simply be better musicians and better performers. It's quite possible to do a crappy job now and turn it into something quite good sounding in a mix with lots of editing. Digital editing lets me do that. I've done it plenty myself. I still strive to be the best I can be, and I play violin in an orchestra where there's no fixing things afterwards. You got to do it. And I've done plenty of live concerts, thousands. So I get it. But when you're releasing something to millions of people in the world like this on YouTube, and you are the number one Gen Z rock group that's out there, I honestly believe that The Warning is. If their numbers don't show it yet, I believe they will be showing it shortly, because they are clearly it. They are just taking over of all Gen Z members, and certainly all female. So with that happening, I can't believe that they are this honest, and they are so good about it. They're so good at this. Incredible performance. Thank you so much. I mean, I want to give them a 9.7 or 9.8 for the song and for the performance, but I honestly don't know if that's legit. I mean, I would say the song's probably a 9.8 on this one, because I've always thought it was a great song. I always like a little more extra complexity in songs, so that's why it's not quite 10. But then at the same time, I couldn't sing it by any means, even if it was in my range, because I just don't have that sort of power. Second of all, the performance was 9.8, 9.9. That flawless. It was that perfect. Mixing and production also. Right up there. 10. So good. Thank you so much for this, guys. Thank you for enjoying this with me. See if this worked, and I'll try to post this live. Bye-bye.